top global think tank helps look at the minds of those not yet consumers of cloud gaming, and they examine what it will take to change all that. See what could get Stadia in more homes revealed. An overlooked report. It's SDO Daily, baby. Let's get into this one. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of SDO Daily. Do us a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. We appreciate all of y'all. Straight up, y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and by now, y'all should definitely know the slogan. We are not too proud to ask. And in that vein, if you want to be braggadocious in the chat, got a question that you want us to answer at a later time, or you simply want to help out the platform, feel free to hit that super chat button. It goes a long way to make this a better platform for you. All right, on to today's topic. This is very interesting. Now, like I say, I'm always looking and analyzing different reports and tracking different news stories, and I came across this, which I thought was pretty interesting. No further ado, let me show you something. This comes courtesy of CRN India, okay? And this is in regards to a survey. What keeps gamers from cloud gaming and how to make it more attractive? All right, and they talk about some key things. This was released August 19th, 2021 by the CRN India team, but they're talking to a group of think tank people and surveyors out of Germany, I believe. Let me read you the story and then we'll get into the back end of it. All right, so let me make this bigger for the people in the back. It says, from August 25th, Gamescom opens its exclusively digital exhibition halls for the second year in a row. In 3 days, pulses will race in the heart of gaming, in addition to numerous premieres and insights into the world of games. There is a further question this time. What's the score with cloud gaming? Developments to date show that cloud gaming providers are seeking to change, seeking changes to make their services more attractive. For example, Microsoft now directly integrates xCloud into the Xbox app for Windows, which means gamers no longer have to take a detour via the browser. Now, the cloud gaming division at Google is going a few steps further. Before we get into what they describe here, a lot of this I feel is true. Some of it, I think they misrepresented from the GameIndustry.biz article. We'll talk about that on the back end, but I just wanted to prepare you in advance. The cloud gaming division at Google is going further, a few steps further. Although the in-house Stadia developer studio was closed earlier this year, Google is not dropping the project. Absolutely, they're not. The plans for Stadia include Google focusing on Stadia makers to attract more indie developers. Now, they say here in place of AAA titles, which nothing like that has been confirmed at all. It's actually been to the contrary. So I think that was a mix-up with the GameIndustry.biz article. But nonetheless, a new royalties concept through which developers will receive 85% of the revenues from the game sales starting in October is expected to contribute to this. In addition, 70% of the revenue generated by Stadia Pro is also expected to go to developers who make their titles available on the platform each month. Rumor has it that Google's game streaming service will even be opened up to developers as a white label platform. We all know about those rumors and how the full white label thing has been debunked. You got to check out my prior videos for that. Now, as optimistic as these measures sound, Dr. Thomas King, Chief Technology Officer at D6, the operator of the world's leading internet exchange in Frankfurt am Main, Germany, knows that cloud gaming still raises yet to be answered questions and concerns among many gamers. Something that we speak about often here. While a lot of pop-ups on this site. Pay attention to this. When it comes to online gaming, we have a front row seat. As the operator of the world's largest internet connection ecosystem over the past year, we've seen a sharp rise in gaming activity and by implication, and enthusiasm for video games in Germany and around the world. Still, the general perception of cloud gaming, streaming a game from a server, seems to be more reserved than conventional in online games. We've talked about this. This is absolutely right. So here goes the study. We wanted to find out more and ask gamers in an online survey what reasons they think speak against cloud gaming service. Now I'm gonna go here a little bit. This survey was conducted by Civi on behalf of DE6, a large think tank, global think tank, and the survey period was June 22nd through July 4th of this year, 2021. And the question was, from your point of view, what are the reasons against using a cloud gaming service where you can play via stream or another server? Okay. All right. So here are the interesting results. We wanted to find out more and ask gamers in an online survey what reasons they think speak against a cloud gaming service. The majority of respondents who play several times a week, 34.6% to daily, 37.4%, say they are not familiar enough with the system and how it works. This is reflective among other things. Like we've always said here, the majority of people don't even know what a Stadia is. I had a conversation a couple days ago with some hardcore gamers. They didn't even know what GFN was, let alone Stadia. They didn't know all this cloud gaming stuff was out here. So there's a lot of gamers that just don't know about it. This is reflected, among other things, in the fact that some of the respondents assume that they'll have to own suitable hardware for cloud gaming, 11.3% to 9.1%. See, there's a lot of misinformation out there. That's why you have channels like Stadia Dosage and others that are fighting against the misinformation train, or the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that misinform people. That's why when journalists do, even if it's inadvertent, the misinformation that we see here, that cascades to people and it gives them false information. This poll proves that. So that's why it's important to make sure that the record is correct. Now, do we want to go out there with pitchforks and attack people? No, we don't want to do it. We want to do it cordially, like I always say. Do it do it cordially and do it accordingly. But it has to be corrected, because this is affecting people's ability to get attached to the services and products that could better suit them. If they're misinformed on that, they're missing out, because they're listening to these journalists that are to be the experts that are getting it wrong. All right. So do it in decency and order, as I always say. But however, the information has to be correct, especially when it's coming from journalists. It has to be. There's no buts about it. However, it continues, cloud gaming doesn't have any great hardware requirements. That is true. They talk about the games that can be played on cell phone and tablet. Now, they say another significant portion say they don't really find the offering attractive, 22.9 to 28.6%. Now, that's interesting as well. We tell you all the time, a lot of people just aren't into it because they feel like there's too much of a sacrifice to their dedicated device experience, and they feel like they'd rather pay their $500 for their new console because they want the prettiest graphics or whatever. That's just their assumption. A lot of people, when they play it though, they realize, you know what, for that $500, I'm not really getting that much of a difference, or just not that much of a gap. Maybe I will try this thing out. Or some people just don't like the performance. They don't like the lineup, whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of skepticism. There's not just misinformation and ignorance. It's just a lot of skepticism towards cloud gaming at all. And it continues, or just don't trust the technology. 21.4% to 23%. 1% of respondents who play several times a week and 18.7% who play almost daily cite a slow internet connection as a reason for not looking further into cloud gaming. That also leads to some of the misconception. Now, yeah, there are people that have shoddy internet who cloud gaming just will not work for. However, they're playing Fortnite. And they're watching 4K YouTube videos. All right. If it's difficult for you to navigate the internet at all, then I completely get it. However, again, if you can watch 4K videos and you got the best ping playing Fortnite and you think your internet is bad, don't listen to the FUD or the fodder out there. I had a crappy 50 up and 50 down internet that had a cap on it. And when I played Stadia, day one when I got it, well, for me, day one, it was like day 5 of Stadia in existence. But when my day one, I was running Destiny 2 beautifully, flawlessly. It was beautiful. So, it's just a lot. This speaks a lot to the misinformation out there, but it exists. And like we always say here, perception is 9/10 of the law. So knowing that these are the problems. Here's what they say the solutions are. So what can we do to clear up the lack of clarity and the uncertainties relating to game streaming? Functionalities and mistrust can be addressed through transparent and informative communication. Now, when it comes to Stadia, we know a lot of people in the community say that they don't know enough about what's going on with Stadia and things like that enough. And again, that's just the perception. But again, perception is 9/10 of the law. So that's very intriguing to see that. And hopefully our friends at Stadia and other places, they're seeing this. It says transparent and informative communication and games on offer are, after all, a matter of taste. To ensure that cloud gaming experience is not impaired by connectivity problems and excessive latency, all those involved must, as part of the ongoing network infrastructure, place greater emphasis on decentralized data centers close to users and thus increasingly rely on edge computing. This helps avoid lag and frustration, allows gamers to enjoy the latest games without having to keep upgrading to new hardware. Exactly, bingo! In order for cloud gaming to become a very viable tool, this think tank, this global think tank says that performance is key. I was arguing that last week, over the content is king. No, when it comes to cloud gaming, accessibility is king. It's the culmination of a catalog that said demographic will like, along with the stability of playing said games. You can't go into the platform and one game plays great and another game is crappy and another. That does not lead to consistency that they're getting from dedicated devices. They'll just stick with the dedicated devices. And this think tank just confirmed that. It's important to understand what's going on here and the mind state. Look at this stuff from 5,000 feet. We got to get out of our own emotions and stuff like that. Look at this from 5,000 feet. And we got to be able to look at our fellow gamers. And sometimes it just takes us tapping and nudging them and talking to them to get a better understanding. But definitely, performance is key here. Very key. It is not to be underrated by a catalog. The catalog is useless if the performance isn't up to par across the board. So I thought it was a great article. Talks about a lot of stuff. I think a lot of stuff that companies like Google, if they don't have this information already, which they probably likely do, can really benefit from. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's going to be a slow burn to reverse some of these perception trends. It's not going to happen overnight. But as long as these companies, including Google, work towards that, you will see cloud gaming up there with the premier platforms and some. And that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They'll lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. With all of that said, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.